Are you working through the Loving Parent Guidebook? Have you met your inner family yet? If not, let me introduce you to them. Hi, I'm Ken Francis, California licensed marriage and family therapist, and I'm going to give you a therapist spin on the Loving Parent Guidebook and the inner family system. Getting to know your inner family is central in the Loving Parent Guidebook. And this might seem like kind of a strange concept to some people, getting to know your inner family, your internal family, like there's people inside of me. Well, actually, this is nothing new. Freud, the father of psychology, he talked about ego states. He talked about the ego, the superego, and the id. So talking about different parts of yourself or different ego states is actually nothing new. In some programs, there's a word for it called the committee. If anybody has ever heard anybody talking about the committee running around in their head, or the hamster wheel in their head that keeps going around and around and around, it's all the same thing. The Loving Parent Guidebook draws a lot upon existing therapies, mostly transactional analysis and internal family systems. If you're familiar with ACA, you've probably heard of the inner child before, but the concept of the inner teenager might be something that sounds a little new and different for you. But don't worry, it's a part of other existing theories, and it makes sense. Just like our family of origin can be very dysfunctional and chaotic, so can our internal family. The Loving Parent Guidebook is basically family therapy for inside of yourself. Just like our family of origin can be dysfunctional and chaotic, so can our internal family system. So the Loving Parent Guidebook is basically a guide for internal family therapy, or therapy of self. Because the Loving Parent Guidebook draws a lot from therapy and psychological theories, it's probably best not to work this alone, but better to do it in a group, or best of all, to do it with a therapist. Things in this book can get really deep, really fast, and you want to have the support that's available to you to help you balance this out. Here, let me introduce you to my inner family. Here, meet my inner child. This is Kenny for Shoes. Kenny for Shoes is a dreamer. He loves to fantasize. He has a great imagination. He just wants to be happy and play. Unfortunately, things did not always go his way. He had very sad and lonely times, and times where he just felt invisible. If our inner child gets the nurturing that we need, then we grow up to be playful and adapted. We become resilient, and we become to know our place in the world and feel comfortable there. When things don't work out the right way, we become exiled and feel very alone, worried, fearful, afraid, and need to be protected. Enter the inner teenager. I've named my inner teen Serious Ken. The inner teen can be rebellious. The inner teen wants to draw attention and emotion and focus and pain away from the inner child. The inner teen will say, go ahead and hurt me, because I can hurt myself much, much more. I dare you. If we want to reach our inner child, we first have to go through our inner teen. We all have a critical voice in our head. Actually, we all have a very critical voice in our head. This is our critical parent. Meet my critical parent. I call him Cappy Sue. This is the voice of control. This is the voice of judgment. This is a lot of leftover from the messages we heard growing up, like it or not. As children, we needed guidance, we needed direction, we needed support. So we took what we were told as truth, and along the way we internalized it, and right or wrong, it became our truth. The critical parent means well. It's trying to protect us. It's trying to do the right thing. If we do something bad, it might be shaming us, but it's only doing that because it's wanting to get us to where we should be. A lot of shoulds, a lot of distortions with the critical parent. Because let's face it, a lot of our parents saw the world through distortions. And the cognitive distortions such as catastrophizing, personalizing, overgeneralizing, shoulds, all these judgments, they gave to us. There can be a lot of madness between the critical parent, the rebellious teenager, and the exiled inner child. And that's where the loving parent comes in. This is my loving parent. I call him Mr. Tour. And a lot of us have a hard time believing that there's something nurturing, something within us that doesn't shame, but loves and validates. And it's not that this part isn't there. It's just that it's sleeping and it needs to be nourished and awoken. The loving parent is the opposite of critical. It's the opposite of judgmental. It's the opposite of shameful. The loving parent is nurturing, is kind, is forgiving, and most of all wants to love you and welcome you with open arms. The loving parent is the one part of yourself that gives you the break, that helps you with pacing, that helps you to be kind and gentle to yourself as you would anyone else. And the loving parent tells you that at times it's okay to be selfish. I like to follow the transactional analysis model, and that model of therapy talks about another family member, the inner adult. Our inner adult is rational and helps us make good decisions, is able to push emotions aside at times when it's more important to think than to feel. And I believe that the inner adult helps keep me and all the other parts of my internal family together and working in harmony. And at this part of my life, I think I can say that I have another person as a part of my internal family that I'm starting to get to know, and this is my inner senior citizen. And my inner senior citizen is probably a twin to my inner child, and I need to take care of both of them with love and kindness. Once you start working the guidebook and start to get to know your inner family system, it might be really easy to start to blame different parts of yourself if you're triggered. And to basically say, well, you know what, my inner teenager was pissed off and that's why I did this and I'm okay with that. And that's not really what this is all about. It's about getting to understand the different parts of yourself and how sometimes they're working against you instead of for you. Because at the end of the day, they all are combined to make you who you are. We are all whole people made up of different parts, but it's important that all the parts are running smoothly and working together and communicating with each other so that we can all be in a place of serenity. When all is said and done, don't lose sight that all these internal family members, parts, ego states, whatever you wish to call them, add up to make one complete you. The goal is to identify which family member is keeping you stuck, in pain, or trapped in a dysfunctional behavioral pattern. A team is strongest when the members work together for the greater good of the team. Pull your inner family together so that you can benefit from the winning combo. Another thing to remember is that your internal family lives in an external world. You have other people, places, things, and situations going on around you. So remember that you are not doing your recovery and your healing in a vacuum. Reach out for the help and the support and the nurturing that's also out there for you to help you nurture yourself and become the best loving parent that you can be. We hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've gotten anything out of it, please subscribe to the channel. Over the last couple of years, I've already done some videos on topics that go hand in hand with the Loving Parent Guidebook. Topics such as mindfulness, relaxation, and cognitive distortions. So if you'd like to get more information and more access to these videos, please subscribe to the channel. And I'm Ken, and we are Ken, and as always, thank you for watching.